Part 5, accountability isn't what you think it is. Welcome back to our Life First Business Operational Excellence series. Over the last few sessions, we've talked about systems, SOPs, founder dependency, and the handful of operating systems that every business needs. Today, I want to talk to you about a word that almost every leader uses, but very few define the same way, and that word is accountability. When I ask founders what they want more of in their business, one of the most common answers I hear is, I just need my team to be accountable and to do their job. I can see you nodding. I understand exactly what they mean because I've said those same words. But over the years, my definition of accountability has changed completely. Today, I don't believe accountability starts when someone misses a deadline. I think it starts long before that. Here's what I mean. Imagine asking someone to hit a target they've never actually seen, or asking them to win a game without ever explaining the rules to them. Most of us would agree that that's not fair. Yet that's exactly how a lot of businesses operate. We hire great people, we tell them we trust them, we expect them to take ownership, but then somewhere along the way we forget to define what ownership actually looks like. Then we're surprised when everyone has a different interpretation. One person thinks responding to a patient within 24 hours is acceptable. Someone else thinks it should happen in 15 minutes. Neither person is necessarily trying to underperform. They're operating from a different set of expectations. That's not an accountability problem. That's a clarity problem. One of the biggest leadership lessons learned is that accountability and clarity can never be separated. Before I ask whether someone is accountable, I ask myself these 5 questions. Number 1, did we clearly define the outcome? Number 2, did we explain why it matters? Number 3, did we define who owns it? Number 4, did we establish how success will be measured? And number 5, did we create a system for reviewing progress before something went wrong? Because if the answer to those questions is no, and I mean any of those questions, then I haven't created an environment where accountability has a chance to thrive. I've simply created an opportunity for confusion to happen along the way. Now, that doesn't mean that people aren't responsible for their own performance. Of course they are. Personal responsibility is vital. But as leaders, we also have responsibility to build an operating system that makes success easier to achieve. I remember years ago feeling frustrated that I had to keep following up on the same things. I'd think, why can't people just take ownership? And eventually I realized I was asking people to own outcomes that I never fully operationalized. Some projects didn't have a clear owner. Some expectations lived really only in my head. Some priorities even changed without being properly communicated. And then I found myself frustrated that nobody could just do it. Really to read my mind. That realization was very humbling for me because the problem wasn't always the people. Many times it was the operating system that I had built around them or lack thereof. One thing I often tell our clients is that accountability isn't something you enforce once a month during a performance review. It's something your business either creates every single day or quietly erodes every single day. It's built into your meeting routines, your scorecards, your KPIs and KRAs, your communication, your follow-up, your coaching, your documentation, and ultimately your leadership. And the best teams I've worked with don't spend all day wondering whether they're winning. They know because clarity gives people confidence, and confident people make better decisions. So here's the question I'd encourage you to ask yourself today. Think about one person on your team that you've recently felt frustrated with. Before you ask whether they're being accountable, ask yourself this instead. Have I made it unmistakably clear what success looks like? Have I given them the systems, the tools, and the feedback to consistently achieve that standard? Or am I expecting them to figure it out as they go? Accountability doesn't begin with holding people responsible. It begins with building a business where responsibility is crystal clear. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about one of the biggest myths in business, the belief that hiring better people will solve operational problems. Because after working with hundreds of growing businesses, I've learned that great people rarely fix broken systems. More often than not, broken systems slowly break great people. I will see you in the next session. By the way, if you've been following along with this Operational Excellence series, don't forget to download our free companion guide, The Ultimate Strategic Planning Audit. Comment or DM operating system. We'll send it over, or you can grab it in the show notes.